video, we're going to look at how to use your custom blend of oil to do your skincare process to clean your face and to also treat your face. We don't need a lot of things to get this done. You just want to make sure you have a clean face cloth every time you do this, some clean towels, and if you have long hair or bangs, you're going to want to make sure you either have a headband, some clips, or some bobby pins to keep your hair out of the way because the oil is going to make a little bit of a mess. And be sure not to wear a piece of clothing that is especially important to you, because if you accidentally get a little bit on it, again, there could be a stain happening. And the final thing we're going to need is whatever custom formula of skincare oil that you have ordered, you're going to need to have. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my hair is out of the way because I really don't want to have an oily mess. Once your hair is secured back and your hands are clean, you definitely want to start with clean hands. You're going to get your bottle of product. And generally, I take about 2 dropperfuls. What you really want is you want the oil in your hand to be about the size of a quarter. And what you're going to do is you're simply going to rub your hands together to evenly distribute the oil to warm in and also to warm your hands up a little bit. Then you're going to take the product and you're going to apply it directly onto your dry skin. Don't worry if you have makeup on. You do not need to do anything ahead of time to remove makeup. In fact, I wore makeup for this particular video, even though I don't generally wear it, because I want you to see how the makeup actually is going to come off. If you have a skin condition, dry skin that extends down onto the neck or the top of the collarbone, please feel free to continue when you're applying the oil to go down to this area. It's also really good for aging skin. When you're applying it, you don't need to rub very hard. You just want to make sure all the areas are evenly covered. And of course, where the eye makeup is, you're going to want to spend a couple of extra seconds to make sure that you're removing the makeup. I'm going to extend down my neck and onto the top of my collarbone because for aging skin, that's really good because it shows up there as well. I often rub the product directly into my hand at this point because I have a little bit of extra, and it's very good for the skin and nails as well. You want to have hot water available. It doesn't matter if you're going to pour it into a bowl or into your sink or if you're in the shower. You just want it to be hot enough that it's going to create a steamy environment. If you're using your tap, if the water can be comfortably wrung out of the cloth without hurting your hands, it's the right temperature. If it kind of stings your hand a little bit, it's probably a little bit too hot for your face. Once you have wrung out your cloth, you're going to drape it over your face for anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds so that the heat can help loosen the dirt and oil on your face. Generally speaking, I would do this 2 to 3 times to make sure all of the gunk on my face has been loosened and all the pores have been opened. But for this case, I'm just going to move on to the next step. The next step is removing the oil. And this is a very important step because if you don't remove all of the oil, it means you're leaving dirt, skin, and makeup still on your face, and this could cause some additional breakouts. When you're removing the product from your face, you're going to want to use all of your cloth so that you're using a clean part of your cloth as you're removing your makeup and dirt and oil from your skin. You don't need to rub too hard. In fact, I would recommend against rubbing it too hard because it can actually inflame the skin. I'm just going to turn my cloth over. I want to make certain that I've removed all the oil. This is one of the main problems we run into when people say that oil cleansing is not working for them, is they didn't actually remove enough of the product and it clogged their pores and caused a reaction. As a final step, and this step is optional, if your skin should still feel a little bit tight or dry, you're going to add a little bit more of your product to your entire face, or you could just concentrate on a specific area like around the eye or on the cheeks if they're extra dry. It is very much important that you do this when your skin is still damp. If you try to apply the oil when your skin is dry, it makes it very hard to spread around. Anywhere between 6 and 10 drops or so is probably a really good amount. If you're only doing your face, probably 6 drops is good. But if you're going to continue down your neck and onto the top of your chest, you're definitely going to want a little bit more product. Again, I'm just going to gently apply this and I'm going to pat around my eye. You really don't want to rub around your eye. it's not really very nice for the skin around the eye. Be sure to apply the product as well to your lips. It's very moisturizing for those as well. Now, once you're finished, you're going to want to make sure that you leave it for a few seconds before you start to put makeup on or take your hair down, because you don't want to end up with a kind of slimy mess. It will take a minute or two to dry after you have applied the oil, because you did apply it to damp skin. And that really is your entire cleansing process. You only need the one product, and you're able to care for your skin and also to moisturize and work on any problem areas. Now that your face is cleansed and moisturized and feeling wonderful, I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about some things that might make your product work better. The first one is, how often should you use this product? Well, it depends is the answer. If you typically only cleanse your face once a day, you're going to want to do it at night. You want to get all the dirt and environmental deposits on your face and makeup removed before you go to sleep. If that's working great, in the morning you're just going to splash your face with warm water and add extra moisture where required. But it's perfectly okay if you want to wash your face twice a day with this. That's what I do myself, and it works fantastic. So really, it's something that you're going to have to try and see which process works the best for you. Okay, now you're going to see people that tell you, oh, the oil cleansing method doesn't work. I got huge cystic acne. My face all broke out. It was awful. And there are reasons that this happened. And one of the main reasons is when people over massage the oil that they apply when they're cleaning their face. Let's just stop for a minute and think. If you go to have a professional facial done, when do they do the oil massage on your face? They do it at the very end. They've removed makeup, they've scrubbed, they've scraped, they've moisturized, they've toned, they've done everything. And the last thing they do is steam your face and then put those oils on your face. So the reason they can massage for a long time is your skin could not be more clean. So now let's think about what would happen if we apply the oil to our dirty skin that has makeup and grime all over it, and we massage it for 5 or 10 minutes like some people do. All that's going to happen is the heat that you create by rubbing is going to force the dirt and oil further and further into your pores. And that's why the oil cleansing method isn't going to work for you. So it's really important that when in that first step, when you're applying the oil to your face, that you're careful and you don't over massage. You just want to mix the oil of the product with the oil, makeup, and debris on your face, enough so that it's combined. If you're rubbing it hard enough to get it into your pores, this is going to cause excessive breakouts. So you really want to avoid that type of situation. Okay, so the final thing we want to look at is caring for the cloths. That sounds kind of silly, I realize that, but it's really much more important than you think. When you're washing with regular foaming cleansers, it's a detergent, and so it's going to actually wash the dirt out of your cloth. But when you're using an oil cleanser, everything sticks to your cloth, which can leave you with a pretty crunchy, gross cloth, and it's probably not going to smell very nice. So it's really important you only use one cloth and then you wash it. But to help it get clean, to sanitize it, and to minimize the smell, you can soak it in hot water and baking soda, let it dry, and then when you wash it, you can just wash it regularly with whatever other closure or towels that you're washing. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here, give it a little mix. It's nice and warm. You don't want to do it with too cold of water. And when I do this, I'm just going to move it around a little. You can leave it to soak if you want, but by just moving it around a little, that really helps to dislodge the debris and things that are in there. And in fact, if you really want to see how dirty and gross it is, when you're doing it, pour it into a sink, put the cloth in first, and then pour, and you will actually see the dirt all come out of the cloth. So when this is done, you can just hang it up and dry. There won't be any smell, and it can wait for when you are going to put it into the washing machine. Now, when you're washing it, it's important that you avoid using fabric softener. I know we all like to use fabric softener. It makes our clothes nice and soft, but it also contains a lot of chemicals and fragrance. And if you have chemicals and fragrance left on your cloth and you've got sensitive skin and you're steaming your face with it, this could cause some irritation. And all those chemicals aren't really good for you anyways. So an excellent substitute for that is just to use white vinegar in the rinse cycle. You can put it right into your dispenser. Just use the normal amount that you would use as fabric softener, and your clothes will come out static free. They'll come out soft, but they're not going to smell pretty like some sort of fragrance or something. But this is the perfect thing for these cloths. So if you can follow all these things, you'll find that pretty quickly the oil cleansing method is going to do a wonderful job of clearing up your face and making your skin feel supple and wonderful.